I'd like to welcome you to the North American Radio Guide. Now, we're all the way up to 540 kilohertz. Now, this is a clear channel frequency for both Canada and Mexico, but in the United States, it's a regional broadcast frequency, which means you can't go over 5,000 watts at night. On the docket, we've got CBK, that's in Waltrus, Saskatchewan, Canada. It is a 50,000 watt Class A station. Now, CBK began broadcasting way back July 29th, 1939. We've got something really special for you in a moment in a Wayback Playback machine. Its beautiful Art Deco transmitter site also had a studio which had a Canadian map in it, showed all the Canadian broadcast stations on it, as well as a living quarters and a bomb shelter. However, in 1975, CBK's radio tower came crashing down during a thunderstorm. Within a few days, the staff had the station back on the air and running using a temporary antenna. Then in 2007, the transmitting equipment was moved to a metal shack next to the tower. Due to the lack of maintenance over the years, the original Art Deco transmitter building fell into disrepair and finally needed to be torn down in August 2015 due to lead paint and asbestos issues. It's really a shame. Now, this is a very historic Canada station and can be copied in the northern United States at night. We have a very special treat for you. This is from the very first night of transmission of CBK, Waltrus, Saskatchewan. Listen to this in the Wayback Playback machine.
Who's there?
It's the Happy Gang from Toronto calling CBK.
Oh, wow! Come on in.
Here we are, the Happy Gang men. Here we are, how do you do? Here we are, to chase away your troubles with a song, a melody. So gather round, come on and get together, and we'll start our program with a bang. For it's time to laugh and sing and shout out with a happy gang.
The CBC presents the Happy Gang from Toronto with Kathleen Stokes at the organ. Blaine Masson his violin. Versatile Bob Farnan. Eddie Allen and his accordion. And with Bert Pearl, your master of ceremonies, at the piano.
Thank you very much, Hugh Bartlett, and a great big hello to all of you friends everywhere, to all of our regular friends who listen to us during the daytime. You can listen to us tonight at the same prices, and to all of our new friends who probably haven't the opportunity during the week, during the daytime, to listen to us, and to the new legion of listeners that we know are listening tonight to the debut of CBK. We really feel swell here tonight. I mean, it's just like a picnic. Eddie says he can stay up after 12. After 12, you'll have to stay up because we won't be through till 12 o'clock. We got a special permit from the juvenile department to allow him to appear. This is really swell here to be on so late at night. Is it just like a picnic, kid? Well, we have so much to say to all of you out west there. There's always a fond spot in my heart for the West, being an old Westerner, and of course, Hugh Bartlett from Vancouver.
Goes for me.
Never missed that one. And we're really thrilled to know that out around Waltrus there, CBK is kind of going to blanket those three prairie provinces, and we have it on reliable information that CBK will carry our daily show, The Happy Gang, when we get back from our vacation on August 28th. There's so much we'd like to say and so little time to say it in French that we thought perhaps might be best to express our thoughts musically. So for all set kids, let's give out with a special bit of poetry set to the music of our theme. CBK, the Happy Gang salutes you, and we're happy to be here to say that when we return from our vacation, we'll be heard each day on CBK, we hope. So on the 28th of August, if your radio lets out an awful bang, don't be worried, friends, that's just our way of saying it's the happy gang.
How's that for a treasure? The very first evening broadcast from CBK, Waltrus, Saskatchewan, Canada. That's truly a treasure. Now remember, this is both a Canadian and Mexican clear channel frequency on 540. From Mexico, south of the border, you've got XEWA. It's part of the W network. It's located in San Luis Potosi in the south area, just from Texas and New Mexico. You can hear them at night there. They're one of the last few and true Mexican border blaster AM stations that are still on the air from Mexico. Get this, it broadcasts at 150,000 watts of nighttime power, making it the most powerful AM nighttime signal in all of North America. In fact, that's 3 times the 50,000 watt limit in the United States for any AM radio station. Now, it makes it a possible copy for many stations in the southwest United States, especially Texas and New Mexico. So if you hear some Mexican music there on 540, you can be sure it's XEWA. It's an interesting tidbit of history available here for you. At one time, this was one of the border blasters that Wolfman Jack was on in the late 1960s. Here's a tidbit for you from XEWA in Mexico. Enjoy.
W Radio 1190 AM. W, vamos a escucharnos. Radio.
Esto es W Radio.
W Radio.
W Radio.
W Radio.
Vamos a escucharnos.
Avenida 18 de marzo, 2135. Las Águilas, Zapopan, Jalisco. Vamos a escucharnos.
Esto es W Radio.
1190 AM.
Vamos a escucharnos.
wradiogdl.com.mx @wradio_GDL.
La voz de la América Latina desde México.
W Radio.
La voz de la América Latina desde México.
1190 AM. Vamos a escucharnos.
Esto es W Radio.
W Radio.
That is a Mexican border blaster, XEWA. We'll be doing a show on the Mexican border blasters coming up in a future episode. In the United States, we do have one powerful station, that's WFLF in Pine Hills, Florida. It has a 6-tower array that really directs most of the power nearly north and south at night. So folks that are in Alabama, Mississippi, and down the state of Florida should be able to DX this one pretty well at night. It could be copyable even as far west as Louisiana. So there's no other stations that are on 540 AM in the United States that operate at even 1,000 watts of nighttime power, believe it or not. There are additional travelers information stations available on this frequency. Well, most of those are located in the Midwest or Eastern United States. All right, let's take a listen to WFLF in Florida, in the city of Pine Hills, in the Wayback Playback Machine.
Conservative Republican Duncan Hunter has been the congressman out of San Diego, California. He was chairman of the House Armed Services Committee. He served in Vietnam with the Army Rangers, won the Bronze Star. He had a son who served as a lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps in Iraq. And we welcome him here to Bud Hettinger Live on 540 WFLA and around the globe on the World Wide Web. It is nice to have you with us, Congressman and presidential candidate Duncan Hunter. Thanks for coming by.
That's literally all there is on 540 kilohertz in the United States that you can DX at night. Now, that doesn't mean there's not other stations. There's plenty of stations that operate at under 1,000 watts of power, but that's pretty much the big ones, okay? Next time, we will get together for 550 kilohertz, a lot of great stations there and some wonderful history as well. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to remind you to please subscribe, hit that bell icon. It'll remind you when we get new videos on. Plus, remember, we are exclusively brought to you by Vlado at hamradio.repair. Do you have a radio that's kind of junky? You don't have to think it's clunky. Get it to Vlado. He'll take care of it. He's the man with a plan that will make your radio sound as best as it can. Vlado is your man for transistor radios, no matter how old. He's got the skill, experience, and know-how to make your radio sound brand new again. That's Vlado at hamradio.repair. We'll get along next time on 550 kilohertz. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye, everybody.